This 42-day after-package installation inspection was quite routine. A minor surprise was that after 2 weeks, the hive has yet to feel the need to move into the second brood box.
Okay, we're getting ready to go in and inspect our hive. We've been inspecting all along. Jim's going to set the cover in the back. We're going to set the inner cover in the front. It's about 65 degrees outside today. They're not going to like being worked. And so we're going to take a look at this. Last week we had a second box on this hive. They had done nothing in that second box. And so we'll take a look. Look like anything?
Nothing.
Looks like they haven't done anything in the second box at all, but we got it on there in case the honey flow starts. We should have a little honey flow off of the locust trees around here. Now look at that. That looks pretty nice. On top, we're gonna get the bees to duck down so we can get our hands in there without killing a bunch of bees. Look at the outside frame here. It's completely drawn out and they packed the honey in here. This one over here, you might want to take that one now, Jim. We got less activity there. But you got a fat frame, you kind of want to maybe look over on the other side and see if you got one that's not so fat to get out. And we'll see what we got on it. Now I've been finding the queens a lot on the outside frame and we found some on these. What do we got in there, Jim?
We got honey.
Honey?
And we got brood on the inside. Older brood, no eggs.
Okay, let's show them down here in this bottom corner here. Okay, right here, somebody asked earlier if we'd seen any drones. That's the first sign of drones we've had in this hive.
Here's one emerging right here.
Yeah. See the big eyes sticking out? We got a little drone in there. So that's pretty normal for them to make up a little drone for themselves. Remember, whoa, you missed the board. Remember, we got to switch that around when we put it back in. Yep. Okay, so now we're going to look at our first frame. Look at that. All really nice brood. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's Mr. Drone. He's having a good time hunking down in the middle doing nothing. And a good frame of brood there. And a good frame of brood here, which we can see it's starting to hatch out in the middle. If you look real close, probably can't, but when you look at your own hive, there's one hatching right there. And these have hatched out just recently. You can see by the cutaway on the top of the cell. Beautiful frame. It's got honey in the corners. It's an ideal frame that we're looking for in our hives.
I believe that's the last frame that was drawn out.
Yep. That was yes, that's correct. Chris just mentioned that was the last frame we put in when we pulled the feeder. So they've totally drew that out. In fact, they drew it out the first week we put it in. Again, we got one hatch in here. We got a lot of hatch going on. So they're ready. They're gonna really increase the amount of bees. These are all been eaten out, all of those there. So we're pretty good there. Look at that. No sea of the queen. A few little drones down here, not uncommon. We can take one of these apart and see if there's no varroa coming out of this. So this field day, we're going to be doing a alcohol wash for you on one of the hives. And we're going to do an alcohol wash on this hive as a separate video after we've done this inspection. So frame number 4. All hatching brood. No cups, no cells yet. That's outstanding. Again, hatching brood. See through here? Lots of young bees. I mean, young bees everywhere. You could just look around and just see them. Look at the little fuzzy devils. Look at that one. He can't hardly walk straight. He walks like Jerry. Staggers. And look at that one, really nice again. Not as much hatch brood in this, just a little bit. Remember, she likes to go along, lay in the center of them. Then she goes back and lays around the outside edge. So see, there's one of the later ones she's laid. You don't see a lot of brood, but there our lady is. See Jim pointing at it right there? She's a nice looking carniolan, fairly fat and long. Look how nice and slow she walks, head butting everybody out of the way. And she says, man, don't you guys have any cells for me here? You notice lately we've been finding them close to the wood every time we find them. And now look, we're pushing the frames up tight so there's no bees in there, and we can push them back together. Again, an outstanding frame. You see eggs down in that one?
Yeah, all eggs.
All eggs. So she's been relaying all this area, but you can tell she probably has, because if you look at the surface area of the top of these cells, it's all cleaned. The ones we were seeing earlier had the surface area was all jagged.
Get that cell right there.
Anything in it?
Yep.
So we cut out 2 queen cups there. Nope, there's nothing in it.
Oh, it was this. Oh, it was the larva here.
Oh. Where? Here? Yeah.
Must have been.
So we had a couple queen cups. We always remove them. That's what we teach. Just so you come back, you're not fooled by them again and panic over making new cells or something. So that's a pretty nice looking frame of brood there.
This is older larva. That last frame had eggs in it. This one has larva.
Nice looking.
Same thing on this side.
Okay. We need to come to this frame to get our alcohol wash.
Yeah.
So fourth
Fourth
third in.
frame.
Third in. Okay,
I don't
and
even know if I want to move this one.
so let's just carefully. We got a lot of honey on the outside of this, and we could have some burr comb against the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a little bit there. And they've been doing a number on us. On the other side, you'll see, look at that. It's all pretty much, I'll bet you it's all turning into honey.
Yep.
And then here, look at what they did. They went and put burr comb on the side of the frame, on the side of the box, and bulged that out. So I'll guarantee you when we cut that out, I will flip my veil up. What do we got there?
Just
a
a,
couple.
yeah.
Okay. So you want me to hold that for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? Oh, you want it on the side?
What that, just lay it right here and we'll move it around. So Jim's gonna take out a little bit here and see they're playing with it. We know where the queen is in here, so this will get them back to doing what we want them to do. And we can easily switch this frame around if we wanted to, but we shouldn't have to. They'll go back and draw it out. Little devils. And what I'll do when we pull the inner cover away, I'll set those on the front board and they'll clean any honey out of it and put them away in there. The next one's a pretty big one. Look at that. But they're just slowly filling this in with honey, so now they'll be tempted to draw it out. I don't see any eggs or anything in any of this, so now there'll be a little, there isn't even any honey in it. It's all really lightweight. So now we're gonna close this up. When we first took the second box off, remember we gotta reverse that? When we took the second box off, we looked down between the frames and saw there's no activity. So there's really no need to go back through the second box and check it. So we're just waiting for a better honey flow to get them going. Now we're gonna put that back in the way we took it out, and we're all set. Okay, put that other box back on. We better smoke it first. Here, let's- Look at this, we got a couple stubborn ones here. All right. And we could set our lid on there. And this is our weekly inspection pretty much done. And we'll go back here in a minute and do an alcohol wash with you, and that'll be a separate video completely. So, anything else, Jim?
No, I think that's pretty self-explanatory there.
Can you compare to last week?
Yeah, last week we actually had more brood. Because remember we had brood on that outside frame, and they're starting to turn both of the outside frames into honey. So we had a little bit more brood, and we have a little more cap brood. If you'll notice, only one of our frames was solid cap brood. The others had major holes in the middle of the brood that where they were relaying and they'd had a hatch. The bee population is way higher than it was last week.
So
And this hive gained 12 pounds.
So with that, speculated as to why they didn't go up?
Well, I think because the honey flow hasn't, they've been able to fill the outside frames, and she's keeping everything laid in the middle now, so they have no choice but to go up if they're going to allow anything. So that's a pretty normal way they would transition. Once they move up, then we'll start shifting the honey frames around a little later.